Hey, hey Marquise. Good to see you on. Thank you. Ginger, hi. On this thing this week now, girl. I tell you, I'm going to learn this thing one way or the other. Got my granddaughter in here with me too, so any Q&As, questions and answers, come up, I'm able to answer a few. Talk anything you want to say. You know what I mean? You may want to say something yourself to me and I can, read it out to others and, talk about that too. Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning in again this week. Hey Edward, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Can use all your help if you need to say something or, add in. All of you are welcome to do that. We're on step 5 tonight, and I am so grateful that everybody is on, is coming on and is very much interested in this very important and necessary live talk. Again, I'm Tracy, y'all. I'm a grateful recovering addict. I live the life of a recovering addict, but I am still an addict. I will always say that, and I will always come on saying that. I've learned how to, I am learning how to live, a better life and a good life by following my 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous as well as the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I tell y'all why I say both, because, Narcotics Anonymous is my drug of choice. Y'all see I got my hearts on. Thanks for the heart. Because everything that I'm saying and trying to do and explain to people is truly from the heart. Again, I learned my 12 steps by the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous as well as the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. I feel as though one is no different than the other. It's just how this thing was brought upon. Alcoholic was first, and then the people come up with Narcotics Anonymous. So they separate the groups. You know what I mean? Personally, that's just what they do, and that's what they did. And I use both because the first meeting that I was introduced to in rehab was Alcoholics Anonymous. And when I went, I just listened. And that's where I found my sponsor. A friend of mine I was telling you guys about earlier on, that I hadn't seen in so many years. And I didn't know where she was, what was happening to her. And this girl's been clean for like 6 years when I saw her again. But so I went to Alcoholics Anonymous so that I can listen. I learned how to listen in there, because you couldn't talk about Narcotics Anonymous. And when I went to Narcotics Anonymous, I learned how to have the heart, and share, So both did me justice, but both gave me absolutely the same thing. That's just my opinion, in my recovery life. The stories was just about the same to me, Some in Narcotics Anonymous was a little bit more dramatic because we were street runners, you know what I mean? And we had to be out there, outside of life. Most people that was in alcohol, they were out there too. You know what I mean? Just drinking, on the corners everywhere, laid up, drunk, all laid over, just like we laid up, toe up off of, our different drugs of choices, So, for me, I feel as though, all is the same, but to each his own. Again, what works for me may not work for you or everybody. But I just wanted to share that because I say Narcotics Anonymous a lot because of my drug of choice, So when I'm speaking on alcohol and drugs, and whatever your addiction is. I always start with the 12 steps, and today we're on step 5, So I'm going to read step 5, which connects from 1 to 5, because these are steps. And when we're saying steps, it's like the first step, the second step, the third step, the fourth step, the fifth step, on to the 12th step that will allow you to learn how to live a normal lifestyle again, and what we have to go through to understand to do just that. Okay, so I'm going to read step 5 and just a little segment out of step 5. Okay, and then, we'll go into conversation, real talk. I like to share real talk because, when we read a lot of books and we go into a lot of paperwork and all that, sometimes we don't really know what we're saying. We don't even understand what it is, because disease will have us sit up there and act like we do, and we don't even know, don't even have a clue, but when you go into our language, what I call our language, and that's for, addicts and alcoholics, this is why I talk like I do. This is why I don't try to sound so professional. I'm speaking to the still suffering and recovering. We know, we understand. And you guys can join, come to understand how it is. Like, you can't talk sweet. You can't, you can, but when we talk raw and we talk straight to the point, it's like a street talk almost. We talk just whatever, because whatever comes out of our mouths, whatever we do, we do. We have no conscience of what we do. You know what I mean? We can't be all soft, about this thing, because soft can also make you hard, harder as an addict. You know what I mean? To take advantage or, to just go far. So me, I'm raw, even as a counselor, I'm raw, because we need to know and we need to understand in our language what we are dealing with and the possibilities of what we can be grateful for and have and move on in life and live life good, just like any other human being, because we are human beings and we're definitely somebody. Okay, we somebody's mama, we somebody's sister, we somebody's brother, we somebody's aunt, and on and on and on and on. You follow? So again, tell yourself every day, I am somebody. If you think you've done a little is more than enough. Don't try to take yourself over the top with all of this, and go through these steps like I'm going through these steps. Stay at the step that you need to stay at for as long as you need to stay there, but you got to keep moving in order to start, becoming successful, and honest and open with yourself, because that is number one. You have to surrender and you have to get honest with yourself, because the truth is what's going to set you free. Trust me. All right, I'm going to read step 5. Step 5 says, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact natures of our wrongs. I'll repeat it again. We admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact natures of our wrong, which means that, for me, that means like, step 1, we admitted, step 2, we came to believe that a higher power greater than ourselves. Step 3, made a decision to turn our wills and our lives over to our higher power of choice or the care of God. And now step 4 was taking a searching and moral inventory on ourselves, a fearless moral inventory on ourselves to give us the courage and the strength and, that willpower, to be able to get to step 5, admitting to God, or your higher power of choice, to ourselves and to another human being the exact natures of our wrongs. That's kind of like going into making amends, pretty much. I had to make amends to myself in order to, build that strength and understand that I was lost, and under this storm that I told you about, here in the matrix that I told you about, I had no idea that I was there. So learning this through the 12 steps has given me the courage to get, one, honest with myself that I'm definitely out of control. I'm toe up from the flow up. You know what I mean? I need to stop. I don't want to die like this. You know what I mean? 2, finding that belief in my higher power again, man. Losing that was just like one of the biggest parts of this that just made me more cold, because I had no faith. I had nothing. you know, but anger and confusion and resentment, you know what I mean? And fear, a lot of fear, you know, with the mask acting as if it was no fear, you know, and a lot of pain, you know, that I didn't have God or it felt like I had nobody else in my life, you know, until I learned, you know, these steps, you know, and it brought me back. You know, I found those couple pieces up there, you know, to build my puzzle again, this face, this person right here, you know, I'm putting the pieces back on. You know what I'm saying? And it's allowing me to get stronger and healthier, you know, and wiser, you know, and also allowing me to start feeling that I do have a heart, you know, and I do have emotions, you know, because my sickness shut the emotions down. You know, it separated them, like I told you, you know, with the disease, you know, the way that it works is cunning, baffling, and powerful, you know, and this is how slowly it takes you out until you just don't have any control of yourself at all, you know, so it separates the thinking from the emotions, and then you just become a puppet. You know, you do whatever it say what I do, say, you know, do it how I want you to do it, you know, and do it when, where, and why I want you to do it, you know, so finding, you know, being able to find somebody that I was okay to share with, you know, and like, for instance, you know, when I went to my mom, you know what I mean? I had to apologize to my mother. You know, I started telling her things that I was doing, you know, and so nobody else could have to tell her. You know, I shared a lot of things with my mom. My mom was one of my greatest sponsors, to let you guys know that too. You know what I mean? Like I said, when she shut that door on me and told me I couldn't come back no more, you know what I mean? It broke that heart, you know, and really broke it in half, but it only made me mad, you know? It didn't make me care at the time that she did it. You know, I realized when I surrendered, you know, what really happened, you know, so I didn't care when she told me I couldn't come back. I just went back out on the street, got me some money, you know what I mean, and got high some more, you know, so I didn't have to feel all that, you know, I'm cussing everybody out, you know, but I shared all that with her. You know, I was able to go to the, be introduced to the rooms through the rehab, and seeing that it was just so many people like me, you know, in there. And I listened, you know, the first meeting, like I said, was a Alcoholic Anonymous meeting. So I couldn't talk no way, you know, but I listened, you know, and I listened to a lot of these people's stories, and the stories just all was the same. You know, the stories, I'm in Alcoholic Anonymous, and they talking my life, you know, like, dang, well, they didn't even do drugs. You know, they did alcohol, but they were still feeling the pain that I was feeling. They were still feeling the whole thing that I was feeling, you know, and they listened to each other. They embraced each other. They gave each other feedback. You know, they was telling us not to worry, you know, not to feel bad because I'm not alone. You know, there's plenty of us out here. You know, we got to spread this word and get this Alcoholic Anonymous out. And, you know, as well, they said the same in NA, you know, you just got to learn how to listen so that you can learn. And that's where I learned, you know, if you can't listen, that means you can't hear. And if you can't hear, that means I can't see. And if I can't see, I can't comprehend. I'm getting absolutely nothing. I'm just there as a body. You know what I mean? Still hurting, still in pain, and still thinking I got the control that I'm okay now because I've been clean for like 2 weeks. You know, really? To me, that was powerful. You know, but you know what they told me? They told me that that's great. The great part is that I was clean for 2 weeks. You know, so every little thing that you do that is different than what you did, you know, as an active addict is great. As long as it's on a positive, you know what I mean? And you know why you made the choice, you know? So at that point, I was learning how to make choices, you know, and decisions, because that's part of the step. And not even realizing that I'm working the step. You know, I looked and said 12 steps. Dang, that's a lot of steps to learn. You know, that's what disease puts in your head. It put blockers in your head so you could think that 12 steps is from here to Easter Blip. You know, from here to the other side of the world. You know, 12 steps is right here in your face, taking your time, you know, so that you can have to learn these steps, accept these steps, come to believe in these steps, and start that yellow brick road and be off to meet the wizard. You know, so we have to pay real good attention, and our truths have to be set free so that we can fight this, because we need our truths and to surrender to our truths in order to battle this sickness. Can't win if it doesn't, you know, keep our truths blocked. This sickness can't win, you know, because our will and our want and our hope and our strength is going to make us powerful, more powerful than it. And that's how it's going to try to come to you in any way, shape, or form that it possibly can. You know, to put a blocker in there to make you shut down, you know, and this is going to turn you off, because some of these things that be said, you don't want to hear, you know, because you're not yet there yet, you know. But if you keep on and knowing that you're in the right place with the right people who are just like you, who is trying to stay clean, who has been clean, you know, and who's spreading this word, you know, and giving you the positive information on how you can be grateful, you know, and just start building your life all over again, knowing that you're not alone, starting with a higher power greater than yourself of your choice, you know, and then the people in this place, you know, these places, NAAA, you know, and we're in here doing things and sharing things, or sharing the positive things on the trail to the yellow brick road. That was pretty nice. I like that. But anyway, these steps are, step 5, admitting to God or to ourselves or to another human being the exact natures of our wrongs. It's like surrendering, you know, and sharing about you, you know, with, again, some of your families, your loved ones, your wives, your husbands, your grandparents, or whomever, your kids, you know, our kids, you know. Speaking of our kids, man, it's rough out here, y'all. This beast is after them. This beast is after our babies. You know what I mean? Got some of them. It's after our babies, and we have to allow them to know, you know, that, you know, these drugs and these alcohols is just not good. You know what I mean? Again, for the ones who are comfortable and relaxed with their lives, who socially drink or socially have fun, you know, I'm not knocking you. It's to whoever, it's your choice. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that I know it's possible to go to the left. You know what I mean? And it will take you off your right, you know, because I'm one of the ones that it did that to, you know. So, you know, I never wanted to be a junkie, you know, and I surrender myself to a junkie because that's what people were saying. She ain't nothing but a junkie now. She messed up, you know. And I mean, you just got to accept it. You got to accept what they call us, you know, so it can't hurt you no more. It can't make you angry no more. It's just they're just servants for disease. You know, it powers the disease, you know, to tear you up even more and more and stop you from, you know, feeling like, you know, you have made these achievements, and, you know, the sticks and bones will break your stones will break your bones, you know. But today, like I said, you know, sticks and stones could break my bones. Names don't hurt me anymore because I've accepted the things that I can't change. I'm still changing things that I can, and I'm still learning to become wiser, to have the wisdom to know the difference. Powerful. You follow? Powerful. You know, and I can't let nothing be in my way to gain weight because of what somebody's saying. You know what I was? Hell, I know what I was. I know who I am. I know who I still am. You know, you say was, I say am, because that's what I have to know. This is what I know, that this is part of my step to never forget who I am. You know what I mean? And where I come from with this, you know, and always be grateful and positive about where it's taken me, you know, and where I'm at today. You know, listen, addicts, you know, or recovering addicts, this thing is powerful. It is powerful. Disease can't handle it. It can't touch it. So all it do is fall back and we put it in remission. We got to learn, get help. This is what I'm saying. Get help. There's plenty of help out here. Get help. Turn on this. If it's somebody that you know that you love and you care about, if you can get them to watch this, this live, that would be great for them. If they choose to sit down and watch it, it'll help a lot of people. There's probably a lot of you doing that right now. With some of the families that's watching this, is learning a lot, because I'm willing to share it. People look at me all different kinds of ways. I have people who really admire me. I have people who say, girl, you are awesome. You have always been there. I love hearing that. You know what I mean? Because it allows me to know that I have grown. It allows me to know that I have a heart. Versus hearing the people that was telling me, I need to stop my shit. You ain't shit. Girl, you're going to die out here in this world. You know what I mean? Look at you. You're a mother. You don't even love your kids. You know what I mean? You come from a good family. Hell, I know that. But at the time, I didn't give two shits. I couldn't. Didn't matter. But when they told me I didn't love my kids and I love the street more than I love my kids, that was a heartbreaker there. That was like I'm ready to punch you right in your head, because I did love my kids as I do love my kids today. You know what I mean? But my sickness wouldn't allow me to show you that I love my kids. It just allowed you to see the shit that I was doing out there in the street and all the wrongdoings that I was doing. But never did I not love my kids. I just couldn't show that. I couldn't present that. Because of the behaviors that this stinky thinking and this stinking disease would take control and just shut it down, so that I couldn't show positiveness. It can only allow you to see the negative things that I was doing. And people draw off of that. They draw off of the negative stuff more than they draw off the positive. And that's just people in places doing things. So I learned that. I learned how to accept that, which goes back to my serenity prayer. Gotta say it every day. Gotta say it all the time. God grants me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I don't know if y'all can see it behind me, but I'm going to show you this. I'm in my serene room. This is my room that I come in and I just sit down and I'm in a happy place. On my fireplace, you'll see first, God first. Okay? Then you'll see the only time you should ever look back to see how far you've come now. Then I have my serenity prayer. Again, God grants me the serenity to accept the things I can't change. And here I was told, in the rehab, when I was into my behaviors and on the streets, that I couldn't get better. I'm going to die on the streets. I'm all messed up. Well, guess what? They told me I couldn't. That's why I did. And thank God that I did. And here I have all the blessings of, I'm going to bring this to you, all the blessings of my family, my children, from my first child to my last great grandchild. These are rewards. This is what keeps me moving. This is what keeps my belief strong in these 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. Then I have my Tracy name, and I have my family, and over here, I am truly a queen, and I'm going to be treated like a queen. You understand? Versus nothing but a girl. I am a queen, and here I become a Mrs. You know what I mean? And y'all know, the ones that know me, relationships ain't last long for me. A couple years, it ain't right, it's over. You know what I mean? Well, it's been 15 now. Okay? And these are my glasses to be so grateful that I learned how to listen so that I can hear, and now I can see. So everything that's around me, in this room, keeps me serene. It keeps me feeling good about myself. It reminds me of the things that took me out and took me down. It reminds me how vicious disease is, because it took all these things that I wanted in life, away from me. But it's never too late, y'all, because we still can have dreams. We still can have hopes. We still can learn how to get off of drugs. We still can live with the fact that we become an alcoholic or a drug addict. You know what I mean? We still can live and have a great time in life and have a higher power who's greater than ourselves to help us restore our sanity. Again, to help us restore our sanity humanity. It is beautiful. These are the rewards of what we get for sharing. These are the rewards for what we get for opening up. These are the rewards for what we get for becoming true and honest to yourself. Whoa. I tell you, like, my new high is this. This is what get me lit. I get real lit off of this. You know what I mean? Because there's a feeling that's inside me that lets me know that this and this is like this. They tight as hell now. You know what I mean? And I love the feeling because every time I talk about this thing, man, I get high. I get a feeling that's beautiful. I get a rush. You know what I mean? My heart is beating right now. You know what I mean? Like boom, 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 boom. But as if I'm nervous. I ain't nervous. I'm happy as hell. You know what I mean? I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm loving what I'm saying, and I'm loving how I'm living. You know, again, I am an addict. I will always be an addict, you know, but I am an addict that's in recovery now. You know, I can feel, I can hear, I can see, I can talk the talk because I walk the walk. You know what I mean? I could do this podcast and help the next suffering or the sick and suffering that's still out there suffering and help the families to understand why we suffering. You know what I mean? And how this thing make us become the monster that people say that we are. You know, and our behaviors are monster behaviors, but we're not monsters. We are somebody. We are human beings that's lost and trapped in the tunnel and the hole. Remember the hole I was talking about? We just don't know how to walk around the hole yet or get out the other side of the tunnel because the storm is so bad. Woo. Woo, I have to take a deep breath. I got to take a deep breath, man. I'm taking chunky bites right now, and it's okay. You know, so, I mean, again, you know, this fifth step, you know, you need, it's okay. It's okay to share with somebody. You know what I mean? To open up. You know, that's basically what it is, to allow you to open up, to be able to share, you know, and make these amends and be able to talk, you know, to somebody, you know, admitting to God, you know, or to ourselves. When we admit to ourselves that we have this problem, we admit to ourselves the wrong natures of our doings. When we admit to ourselves, you know, that I know that this need to be done, you know, it's just pumping us up with the will and the power and the strength to be able to prepare for the feedback of the people that we're surrendering this to. You know, because everybody's not going to be there. Everybody's not going to want to talk because we're liars. Don't forget, we're walking liars, living liars. We protect the lie. You know what I mean? That's all part of it. So we have to be open and ready for the positive feedback or the negative feedback because it's coming. It's coming. You know, they prepared me for this in the rooms. You know what I said? This is what's so good about the rooms, you know, and applying yourself around people, places, and things that are like you. You know, we're not ready to be out in the world when we first start this. You know, we have to learn how to be back out there, you know, so that we can deal and cope, you know, with people, places, and things because we've done so much. We learn to admit to ourselves the things that we done. You know, we can look at ourselves now in the mirror and kind of see yourself. You know, the blur ain't too blur no more when you do these 12 steps. You know what I'm saying? It start getting clearer and clearer and clearer till you can start seeing you. You know, you can start seeing you because the medication that's coming from, you know, these steps are doing pretty good and you're working pretty well with them. You know, like I said, when you take a Motrin or a Tylenol, it kind of soothes the headache away. You know what I mean? And lets you be a little more calm and out of pain, you know, because this is painful. You know, it's a lot of pain that comes with recovery. You know what I mean? It's a lot of resentment. It's a lot of hate. It's a lot of anger that comes with it. But you have to make choices and decisions with these 12 steps, you know, and the rules and regulations of the Narcotics Anonymous book, you know, or Alcoholic Anonymous book, which teaches us, it just teaches us how to do all these things and to start living a normal lifestyle with all the madness that we have just endured in our family. You can be helped and you can help yourself. You know, is it easy? No. You know, I will not tell you that it's easy. It is very hard. Just surrendering is hard. Just start telling the truth is hard. You know what I mean? Because you just don't have it in you, you know, for this disconnection of that heart. You know, it can't be spaced. You know what I mean? It has to be one full heart, and you have to get there, and that's the storm that I'm speaking of. Thank you for these hearts too. I just love it. You know what I mean? That lets me know that you're hearing something, you know, and you're interested, grateful, and thankful. I really appreciate that. You know, so working on step 5 is, I say it for every step because every step is important. It's it's how you connect your dots, you know, and how you put the puzzle pieces back in the puzzle. And the more that you know, come to believe in it and want it, the matrix is shutting down. You know what I mean? The matrix is shutting down. So when the matrix is shutting down, disease is shrinking in there a little bit. You're getting a little cramped up in the head because you don't have full control. Because now you're using your heart as well as your mind. The connection is coming back. And it will. I know. I'm living proof. You know, so the step 5 is just, you know, a part of it, and it's very important. If you have a friend, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's your choice to who you want to, you know, sit back, you know, go to and admit some things, you know what I mean? Like, say for instance, if you stole, you know, your sister's wallet, you know, we lying like, I didn't do it. I wasn't the only one here. Like when Angie was on, you know, her sister was, you know, taking things. Well, who else was in here? You know what I mean? You can go back and admit that. You know what I mean? Will she accept it? We don't know. You know, if she does, beautiful thing. If she don't, for you, beautiful thing. Because you did what you had to do. You chose to be truthful. You chose to be honest. And you understand that we are lies. And we lie so much that nobody believes us. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand these things and talk about these things and admit these things to ourselves. And then build ourselves up to go confront it and face it. Whether or not, again, it's positive, that's going to come from them, or negative. Some may say, I don't ever want to see your ass again. Don't come around my house, F you, get out my face, the whole 9 yards. But guess what? You say, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. I cannot change anybody's feelings, thoughts, or decision of what they think about me because of what I done to them. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like being selfish, but this is a selfish program. And this is how we have to focus on ourselves in order to get better. We have to be able to accept rejection. We have to be able to accept ignorance. You know, we have to be able to accept the fact that this person don't never want to speak to me again because I really done some effed up shit to them. You know what I mean? I fucked up. I messed up everything. You know what I mean? I surrender. You know, and people are not going to want to be open to what I surrender to. You know, they still don't want no shit to do with me because they not yet have trust in you. You know, and some do. Some is looking forward for this. Some is looking forward for you to get better. They're going to say, but we probably did it 100 times. I ain't going to do this no more. I'll be back. I ain't going to do that no more. And then we did it again. And then we said we wasn't going to do it again. Then we did it again. And every time we did it, the shit got worse. Every time we did it, it got worse, and it made us worse, and it made them lose the trust, and it made them use the caring, and it made them lose everything about you. Well, go ahead out there and die then. But do they really mean that they want you to go back out there and die? It's just anger. Anger is vicious. Anger is vicious, and anybody that get mad, and mad comes with vengeance. True or false? You follow? And you be so angry, you know what I mean, that anything will come out your mouth and you start saying anything. You might go on them, try to fight them, try to beat them up, do all kinds of shit. You know? But they are still sick individuals that's under like a trance that they have no control of. You know, this disease, again, is cunning, it's baffling, and it's powerful. I know. I even tried to drink. You know what I mean? That's relapsing. You know, but for me, it was like, no, I ain't drink that long. That ain't that. I had, you know, some drink that shit ain't no different than the cocaine. You know, when I surrendered that, I felt so much better. You know, when I had to get that out, because guess what? That was withholding the truth. You know, and the truth is going to set you free. And that shit haunt me for a long time. You know, it haunted me to the point of where I am today. You know what I mean? To say, you know what? I am so glad that I'm able to fight this sickness because it's so vicious. You know what I mean? It's so vicious. It had me so shamed and so locked down that I didn't even want to say nothing that I ever had a drink. Yeah, I had a drink. It's just that the cocaine was my drug of choice, and that's what I love. You know, the drinking, I didn't even know how to drink. I just drank shit. Never could get that glitch. Never could get that glitch. But that drunk wasn't good. You know, the drunk wasn't good at all. You know, so do I go around people who drink? Do I hang around places where there's liquor? Hell, you can't go nowhere and it ain't no liquor. You know what I'm saying? You can't go. But do I go around places where there's freaking drugs? Hell to the Izzo. And not going to. You know, I don't even want weed around me. The shit stink anyway. And that was my first introduction to drugs that I loved. I did that shit 24/7. And today I hate it. I can't stand the smell of it. You know, I'd be crazy to go in your house if y'all in there smoking cocaine. I'm not saying you guys, it's just a matter of speaking. If I go somewhere that I know they're doing heroin or they sitting up there doing all these pills, oh, hell to the no. I know no means no by any means necessary. Any means necessary. You know, do I go in the bars anymore? Not my choice. Do I go to a club, have a good time? Sometimes. Do I have parties where they having, you know, alcohol and stuff? Hey, look, I got to stay away from that. I can't do that. No means no by any means necessary. My desires are not there for drugs and alcohol today. You know what I mean? Because I know they'll kill me. You know what I mean? I'm very convinced that they'll kill me. So today must be no. N-O. One word, two letters, one syllable. You know what I mean? And what I share and what I give goes for me too. You know, I can't half-step. I can't do some things and tell you not to do it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't suggest anybody in early recovery to try any of that. You know what I mean? But I was asked a question at one time and I could not lie and say that I didn't go or I didn't do this. So that just was another level of me getting me some info, you know what I mean? And getting me some feedback. You know, when they didn't even know that that's what they were doing, you know, helping me with my recovery, you know, to pay more attention and say, well, damn, Trace, you need to go back. You need to start over again. Disease sliding in. What do you need it for? What do you need to go out there for? You know, do I have parties? Hell yeah. You know, so my thing is, you know, what works for me may not work for you. But I tell you this. I tell you, these steps put me back on the straight and narrow. You know what I mean? And that hole, it allowed me to know that that hole is still in front of me. And I still got to learn how not to slip in that hole. Not just walk in it, but not to slip in that hole if I want to maintain my life and live a good life. And I have to follow these 12 steps just like anybody else. I keep this shit real and I keep this shit raw. You know, because I have some people who see me out there, who see me and was like, you know, well, girl, I'm trying to figure you out because you know, we used to be in the bars. All right, we used to. Okay, I'm not going to fall back and say I didn't go to a club or I didn't go to a bar. That's how I learned how important people, places, and things was for me. Okay, so like, you know, when people coming up to me, you know, and they saying certain things. Now, hey, look, I ain't in this to fight nobody. I ain't in this to battle you, you know, about me. You know what I mean? Because I know where I'm at. You know, I know everything I've done. You follow? Because I know how to be honest with myself. You know what I'm saying? But you still there. And you're still doing the same damn thing. So you should be listening a little bit so you can get some type of information and education on what road you going in. You follow? So my thing is, it's okay. It's okay. You know, because I'm on here to help people understand how this vicious sickness works. You know, and how cunning, baffling, and powerful it is. Okay? You know, so if you're in this for this, you on the right live. You know, if you're not, it's okay. You know, because it's great to listen, because sometimes you act as if you're not, but you really are. Because something that I'm saying is hitting home base, and you just not have yet the courage to unmask yourself, You understand what I'm saying? To start doing this, you know, and being okay with it, to grow, you know, and to live, you know, the way you really want to live, because you're stuck somewhere, you know what I mean? And you can't figure out how to get out, you know, but it's still that little tick thing, you know, on somebody else who's trying. That was nice. That was real nice. I like that. Sometimes I listen to myself, y'all, and it'd be like, go girl, I love that one. That was a good one, you know? So, again, you know, and if there's any questions, ask them, because guess what? I told you, I'm not big on this technology thing and all this thing right here, but I got my granddaughter down there following whatever y'all saying. So if you want to ask something or say something and I blood it out for you, absolutely you can. You know, so because I can't read these things and share and talk, you know, at the same time, you know. And again, I want to invite anybody for any reason of topic that you want to come on and you want to share. You know what I mean? You won't know how much you're helping somebody. You know what I mean? For the good of it or the negative of it. You know what I mean? Because this is what we learn how to live with. We learn how to, again, accept the things we can't change the things we can, and have the wisdom to know the difference. You know, I have great people in my life. I only put certain people in my circle because I don't need a big circle. I don't need all the attention. You know what I mean? What I need to do is learn how to live my life and live my life the way that I choose to live my life, and to keep my promise to my higher power and soldier this message. You know what I mean? And keep helping the still sick and suffering. I went back to work, if don't nobody know, a little part-time thing, because people need the info. People need to be helped. You know what I'm saying? We don't get it every time we go. You know what I mean? We got to have a powerful speaker. We got to have a strong person standing. You know what I mean? People that are still sick are still, you know, they relate more. We relate more to each other. You know what I mean? We can feel each other. We understand each other. We'll challenge each other, you know, but we're learning from each other. I'm still in need for a meeting. This is why I do what I do. You know, I can't give it up. It's my medication. Making sense to anybody? You know, but understand your loved ones, you know, understand. They don't even have to be your loved ones. It could be anybody that's out there suffering. We know a lot of people that's out there suffering. We went to school with their parents, how they was raised, how they was brought up. You know what I mean? Some of them had the greatest life in the world and became addicts and alcoholics. You know what I mean? Some of them been out there getting high since we was little and still getting high. That's education on this sickness. It goes to show you how long it could take before it kills you. How long it will take before it takes your mind. You know, how long and slowly it does it. You know what I mean? To give you all this time to be out there like you handling this thing and you managing this thing and you feeling great and you feeling powerful and you feeling strong that you can, you know, but you're doing the same thing we're doing. You're just not doing it the way we're doing it. It's the same drug and it's the same alcohol. You understand what I'm saying? It's tearing you up on the inside. It's doing more damage in there as well as you see us out here with the damage in our active lives. Your inside you is just as active as our outside life. It's tearing you up and you don't even feel it. You don't even know it. And we use it for relaxation and we use it for having fun and we use it for all of this and we think that we in control, you know, of all of this. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's suicide for you just like it is for us. You just see our actions, but you don't see your own. And that's just an FYI again, you know, because I live that life too. You know, that's why I talk this talk, you know, because I walk the walk and I can share anything of my experiences, you know, that I have been through in this life, you know, as much as I want to and how I want to. And again, this may not work for you. And what works for me may not work for you. But I know it's fact. I definitely know what to do, you know, and I know that it tore my ass up. It beat me up so bad. And you know, everybody, y'all know me as a fighter. That thing whipped my ass. It tore me up bad, real bad. You know, it's just a win-lose situation. A win-lose situation. And it's sick. It's crazy because the shit make you feel good as you're doing it. It just make you feel like, there's no worry in the world until it's so much of it that you ain't even in the world no more. You in sickness, you in disease, you got this thing controlling everything. All the vicious things that's going on out here with it. How we all are, a lot of us losing our minds and, people putting Mickeys in people's stuff. You know what I mean? You just can't trust the world no more. The dope ain't like it used to be. The alcohol ain't like it used to be. None of this. The living ain't like it used to be. The world ain't like it used to be. So I need this brain to be working, So God gave us all life and we all gonna leave this world. You know what I mean? Because we're going to live to die. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to kill me. You know what I mean? Or I'm not going to try to be out there in the wicked disease called society anymore, to try to prove a point of who I want to be. And society still don't allow me to be or still don't see me with who I think I am out there any damn way. And I'm not saying don't go out and enjoy yourself because I do. I have a good time. When I go out, I'm just saying for the people who are the sick and the suffer, and suffering that can't. And that don't know how, and that are dying from all of this because we got stuck in the storm. You follow? And we're dumping ourselves every day, falling in that hole because we don't know how to walk around it. Losing you all, losing friends, kids don't want nothing to do with you no more. Kids in the state, my kids my two sons was very upset with me. You know what I mean? They loved me. They took care of me when I was in that bed sick. They took care of me, when I had to eat. Hell, I had my oldest son, Salim, God rest his soul. You know what I mean? Being the mom and the dad to my youngest, my next son, Amir, Mert. And then they also was being a mom to me. When I couldn't get up and eat, or I couldn't cook, or I couldn't do anything, they did it. They washed the clothes. They did every damn thing. All that responsibility as an adult, as a mother that I should have been, I put on these children. Hear what I'm saying? On these children. Okay? Not thinking that I'm wrong because I'm thinking that they're old enough and smart enough to do what they're doing. You know what I mean? But sickness made me believe that. I believe that he can watch him when I go out the house, you know what I'm saying, and leave them in the house by themselves. I believe that leaving them in the bed while they sleep was safe. This is disease. This is how cunning, baffling, and powerful that disease took me, and I didn't even know I was taken yet. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. Not one thing. And when I came home, he took care of his brother. Or when I lived next door to my mom, that I felt like it was just like being in another room. All of it was insane. All of it was wrong. All of it was so wrong that I took a part of their childhood and had them live as adults, had them live like they had to take care of each other and they didn't even have a mother, and then their mother laying in there asleep because she can't get up at this particular point or sitting in there getting lit because she can't stop, and thinking that they don't know what I'm doing. Thinking that they don't know what I'm doing. That's why, end up drinking with them and partying with them and all this stuff as they got older and they got into the society, became did all kinds of bad things and wrong. You know what I mean? Started going to juvenile jail and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? These are things that I had to do that was part of step 5. Put my glasses back on because I can't see shit. That was part of step 5 for me. Admitting to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact natures of our wrongs. These are the type things that we have to get in, have to talk about, and pull out. You know what I mean? Wrong as 2 left shoes I was. You know what I mean? Hurt me to say it. Hurt me to understand it because at first I was like, no, I ain't surrendering to that. My sons and them was all right. They did cool. They did what they had to do. You know what I mean? Because sickness is struggling. It's like a tug of war. There's a rope on one side and then there's me on the other side with sickness. And sickness is drawing me in because I'm not surrendering to the truth of what this factual thing is that I did to these children. You know what I mean? And this is why these children were so angry at me when they became teenagers and they became adults because I couldn't surrender. And I'm saying shit. I done been through all I've been through. I done got clean. I've been clean 10 years. It's time for them to forget that shit. Who am I? Who am I to tell them with their feelings and their heart and their soul and their minds and their anger that you better stop because I'm okay today? Well, what about them? What about them? My sponsor set me down after I told her I said I'm getting tired of shit. You know what I mean? You know, at a meeting I'm sharing, she said, Tracy, shut your damn mouth up. She said, because guess what? You think you so tough. You think you good now. You think everything is okay and everything is still surrounding you. You know what I mean? Because you're not out there using anymore. Well, guess what? So disease is all up in your head because it's not allowing you to actually be truthful about what you put these kids through. They are not you. They are individuals. You know, and the things that you did to them, they have feelings and emotions of everything. They probably can tell you all the stories. They probably can tell you things about you that you don't even remember that you did, or the state that you was in, or the state of mind that you was in. You know, and guess what? She was absolutely true. She said, so you need to sit the hell down and have a talk with your boys. These boys are 19. These boys are 20. And these boys still feel that shit. They still resent a lot of things that you've done because you was in their way. And you wasn't in their way in a good way. You was in their way in a bad way. You were stunting their life. You were stunting their growth. And man, I got to thinking about that shit. And I was like, damn. She said, and I don't want you to say nothing. I just want you to listen to them. And don't you say nothing until they finish. So I made this happen. I had to talk with them. They were furious. They were angry. They were mad. They shared so much with me. They shared things with me that I didn't even realize. They shared things with me that I didn't even know I did or said to them. You know what I mean? And they were telling me how, you know, watching me deteriorate like that, how it hurt them, how embarrassed they was, how ashamed they was. You know what I mean? The things like I sold their Christmas toys. You know what I'm saying? They were so great, ready for this. You know what I mean? I go get high a day before, a week before. Man, them Christmas toys were sold. Sold meat and food out the freezers. That's what they used to do. See, dealers got an addiction too. You know what I mean? They just want. Their hunger is to get and to take. You know what I mean? The money and everything that can make money and everything that can be money, you know, and everything that they can have for themselves to do what they want to do. You know what I mean? So addiction goes in both ways. It goes for the user and as well for the dealers. You know what I'm saying? Just like the state stores, you know, all that. They make money. They want your money. They don't care about you being a drunk. You can go in there and have $2.10 for a can of beer and you still need 8 cents. You know what I mean? It's that money. It's that adrenaline of what we get from it. Just like any other addiction. You know, my sons was telling me all these things, you know what I mean? And telling me like, just because I got clean, I never said I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But I felt like I said I'm sorry. You know, I felt like, you know, getting back to Christmases, getting back to being myself. You know what I mean? At least I thought I was myself. You know, getting better. You know what I mean? You know, buying clothes for them again, doing little things, you know, like a mother's supposed to. You know, that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. They still were hurt. They still had all these memories, which was their memories. You know, so sometimes your kids are not forgiving you yet. They're not ready to forgive you yet. Just like parents, just like friends, just like the neighborhood, you know, anywhere you go, anybody you're around, because we victimized them. I victimized my children greatly, you know, greatly. And then I thought everything was okay because I was well. I felt like I was well and I was better, you know, around everybody else. I still had the ethics, like, fuck it. I still had the man, well, shit them then, you know, and not with my kids, but with friends and people, you know, that some still don't speak to me to this day. You follow? I pray for them today. You know what I mean? And I still make amends, you know, to them. You know what I'm saying? For me in my prayer, you know, but whether or not they want to continue to be around me and hate me for the rest of their lives, that's their life, you know, and that's another part of recovery that is a selfish part of our program. You know what I mean? Because if I'm trying to make amends, I'm already prepared for whether or not you're going to be on the positive or the negative so I can accept the things that I can't change. You know what I mean? But 30-something years and you still haven't forgotten or you know, you haven't, you know, forgive me, you know, shame on you. You know what I mean? So if you still want to carry that weight that I guess I applied on you, you know, I apologize again to whomever that's even watching this that is a part of that part of my life. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I do. I'm really sorry for the actions that my sickness had me under. But I'm trying to explain, and share with you, that that's not Tracy today. That was Trey yesterday. You follow? She's a beast. Yes, she is. She's a liar. She's a thief. She's all that shit. But she's in remission, and she's been there for quite some time. And today, I hold myself totally responsible, for whether or not you do or you don't. But I can't let it be weight on me, you know what I mean? Because I can't afford weight because my sickness will win, and I'm more important for me and my sickness than I am to carry this weight over something that, I did, to you. If I stole from you, whatever I did, you know what I mean? Mess with your van or whatever, you got money, because that's what I had to do to get paid. That's what I had to do to get that drug and to feed my addiction, because that hurt me more just as much as it hurt you. I had no control, and I had to take the pain away. So again, for anything that I've done to anybody, I'm making amends again. I'm making amends again, and I could share, and I still could talk about it to you today. But if it's coming as weight, I don't want it. I don't need it. You know what I mean? I'll still pray. You follow? I'll still pray, and I'll be okay with that, because again, disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. Cunning, baffling, and powerful. And it works through people, places, and things. And how well do I know that? You follow? So I have these 12 steps that'll keep me on my straight and narrow. I have a higher power who's greater than anything in my life, including myself. You know what I mean? That I try to follow by, in any and every way that I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? I forgive myself, and I know that you don't have to forgive me. So again, we have to know these things about an addict and an alcoholic. We are truly not in control. We're just not. We don't know what control means anymore. All we know is, shoulda, woulda, coulda, go get it. I'm gonna make you feel this way. The pain is crazy. Crazy. So I just want y'all to know that, for some of us who still have, our brothers, sisters, and loved ones and friends that are still out there doing what they do, even if they're not using, anymore, forgiveness is a good thing. Forgiveness is something that can even make you feel better, and nourish you, especially the ones of the say that we serve our higher powers, because again, some of the control, in some of us and in ourselves is just uncontrollable. It's like I said, it's like having a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. And you have to pick and choose, what one you're going to allow yourself to live, and believe in and do better by yourself. So again, the step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is just a step to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. And as it go on and continue, it's gonna continue to show you, how we as recovering people learn how to live a normal life again, just like you. You know what I mean? I could sit up with anybody. I could sit up with the Pope if he was sitting here. You know what I mean? I could sit with a star if they were sitting there. It is, and knowing that I'm that addict, because a lot of them are too. You know what I mean? A lot of people hide behind the mask. A lot of people hide behind the closed doors. You know what I'm saying? And try to portray your life to society like it's so great. You know what I mean? It's just so much, that we have to look at ourselves and take moral inventory of ourselves, and dig deep, and to see what is it that I need to do? What is it that I need to fix? And if you're okay, you're okay. I'm not saying this is about everybody. I'm just saying about the ones. If the shoe fit, wear it. If it don't, let it fly. You follow what I'm saying? Again, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it don't, let it fly. But we all can help people who are suffering. We can, and we have so much to offer people. If you are in recovery, you are well needed to help the still suffering. That's what we're going to share for. You can go to these places and share. Eventually along the line, I'm going to do something at the ballroom, the elevations, for the still suffering and addicts and alcoholics. I want to open up an NA there or AA there. It's just getting to the, the things that I have to do in order to open it. I mean, to start it, now that I have that time, that I could do that, that's coming down the line as well. Being on this live is just a great thing, that can help people. I mean, I see that, y'all. I'm telling you, the views for this is huge. The view for this, I mean, I didn't even know what the views meant till my kids told me. It was like, dang, Mom, the first one was like 3.8K, and I was like, well, what is that? They said, this is all the people that's watching it. I was like, wow, man. I said, God is great. He is powerful, God. He is good. You follow? I'm going to keep doing this. And I just woke up and just did it that day, with the introduction. And now you won't believe what the numbers are. It is fantastic. It is a blessing. It is so much a powerful blessing to be able to touch people this much who needs this, and who is interested in this and who are experiencing these suffering and this pain, and who are interested in wanting to understand the suffering addict that's in our family, or the suffering alcoholic that's in our family. And even if they're not out there doing crazy things, they home just drinking their lives away. We got parents and grandparents that just drink. We got parents, to party with us and get on. You know what I mean? It's just an FOI to some because it's fun to them. They're enjoying themselves. I'm not breaking you down, not doing that. You know what I mean? I just put out a little information for when we, what we need to know on how this thing can go, and what it actually does to us, even when we enjoying it, having fun with our kids, or with our loved ones and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But to each his own. You do what you do. To each his own. I'm just sharing the education that I've learned about it. I'm just sharing, the information that I know about it. I'm just sharing the talk because I walked. You follow? So, this is not, for everybody, but I am grateful and and have been blessed to be able to do this, and people respond the way that you guys are responding, and how you guys are looking forward to this on Wednesday. Let me put in there at 7 o'clock. You follow? You follow what I'm saying? So our time is pretty much going up. Let me see some hearts. I love everybody. Thank you for being on. I hope we got somewhat of an understanding of step 5. Next Wednesday is going to be step 6. Which is going to be a higher level, coming to a higher level, and it's going to allow this talk to become real raw, more raw. You follow? And helping me is just as much as I'm trying to help somebody else. You guys are doing just that. It helped keep me on my straight and narrow, and it's helping people to understand the addict and how the addict lives and how the recovering addict lives and how we learn and how we get better and who we are. Again, we are somebody. You know what I mean? God made us all. You follow? We just made bad choices. And then this God made man to create this 12 step that allow us to get back on track and make better choices and positive choices. So again, till next week, Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. I hope you all tune back in. I hope you got something out of this today. I love everybody. Thank you so much.